The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
It's The Local Show with Tom and Steve. Thank you for stopping by and listening. That was a nice little interview with our county executive, wasn't it?
He did a great job.
Yeah, I enjoyed talking with him.
I think we were able to relax together and have some real conversations.
Right.
It didn't feel like a political speech.
Right. You know, and it's got to be so hard when you're a political figure like that, you know, that people see you only as your role. They don't see you as a human being.
Well, plus people have opinions and are polarized before anything starts.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know you're the one that, and they fill in the blank. Well, then you're starting, you know, so
That's
it makes
tough,
it hard.
man.
But
I couldn't do that job.
no, you could not do that job.
No. Yeah, it's tough. Well, here's a guy who does a great job at everything he does, and it's Attorney John Murphy. Even on the golf course, he rattles you, doesn't he?
Oh, this guy has got it figured out sometimes.
Yeah, he's also the owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. Saw you during the week as we celebrated with Melissa Murphy and Aging Advocates.
Yeah, it was nice to be included, and actually saw a mutual client of ours.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With a family member of his enjoying that. And they did a great job helping him be at home and helping his wife while she was still with
Wonderful.
us. Yeah.
And how can trusts and wills do that, right? How can they help people retain their wealth and everything they worked for all their life?
Well, you're dead, Tom. I don't know if that's going to help.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
That's true.
So trust can, you can help avail yourself of some services and still protect your assets. So some of the services are needs-based, and if you have a trust which can shelter those assets from being included, you can get some services which you've paid for through your taxes, right? I mean, this is all under Medicaid, which, people who've worked have paid into the Medicaid system their whole life, 40, 50 years. Planning in advance will let you access those benefits to keep you at home. We've had clients stay home 6-7 years with the assistance of Medicaid. We had a wonderful note from a client whose mother had passed, and we had done planning for her with a trust, and she was able to stay at home for about 4 years, not go through all of her money. Now, she had to contribute, but not go through all of her money. And, the son said, Mom was able to stay home and die at home. And that was incredibly important to her and the family.
Right.
And then once that happened, we were able to pass everything on to the kids outside of the court system because we used a trust.
I'm seeing online constantly, set up a will, set up a trust, set up a will, set up a trust.
What has happened in the past few years? Yeah.
Even on the radio, hey, call this 1-800 number,
far away
set up a trust.
Places.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do that, because don't you really need to be up close and personal with people and know their stories?
Yeah, you need to know, the computer interface doesn't say, what's your deepest, darkest fear? What's really bothering you?
Oh, ask Tom that now.
In getting to know the family. And, so much language and communication is never spoken. So when you're interviewing a client and they start maybe talking about a son-in-law and daughter-in-law, and you see some discomfort, and so that allows you to open up a question. Hey, would you be concerned if something were to happen that your son or daughter-in-law might get a hold of the inheritance or go through the inheritance? We have that going on right now with a client. They're afraid, the daughter-in-law is, I need everything that I see, so let's spend all of our money. And she wants to protect that for her son so that whatever she's able to leave him is not gone through.
Right, but the peace of mind you get, so it's no secret, I've shared before, Dad built the camp, rebuilt the camp for years, and they had it from the 80s, and then and they put it in a trust 10 years ago, probably quite a while ago, because they wanted to make sure that it was safe. Okay, so Dad had some care, never really went into long-term care as we would call it.
Right.
Mom's 92 now. That thing is blocked up and solid and protected, and we've been up there a lot this year, an awful lot this year. And it's in a trust. And
so if your mom were to go into long-term care, they couldn't take the camp, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a misconception about the trust. Now, you brought it up, so your mom is still the trustee.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
She makes all the decisions.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
She gets to use the camp if she wants to.
Yeah.
She could tell you guys you can't go if you want to. Right?
We can try to get her up now, but but it's true. But she's still in control, and that's what you're saying, and it's refreshing to know that it's in that safe place, and I don't have to stress on that.
Right.
And she is just thrilled that we're there, we're using it, and we're doing a little renovation here and there, and she loves it.
Yeah, so planning ahead, I like to say your assets and your money are your tools, but it's to accomplish your vision. So, Gloria's vision was, I want my children to be able to access that camp if my husband needs care or I need care. And we were able to do that. So that's a tool to accomplish a goal.
So if you had any advice to give to people, would you say, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, I guess it's a question, would you tell people, at the very least, come see me about a will and start there, and then you would maybe lead them to a trust? Or?
Yeah, you should have a trust is not for everyone, right? So if you have young children, you need a will.
Right.
Yeah. So we just did a will for a couple actually in Manhattan. They found us, they heard about us, so we were able to do a will and stuff for them, and they have a young child, and they need to have a trust set up if they die while their child is a minor to handle the assets. They need to have a guardian in place.
Sure.
Okay. And in this situation, these people had certain people they didn't want to be guardian. Like her family can never, ever, ever have anything to do with the child.
Right.
They were proactive because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of people, I think it's out of fear, say I don't need to plan now. Right? I'm obviously going to be healthy until I'm 75, and nothing's ever going to happen to me. Right. And I think that just allows you to not deal with the fear of what happens if I die early.
But someone's average, maybe a little above average, income. They're in this area. They own a house, and they're in their early 60s. Is there ever a bad reason to not have a trust for that, to protect that? Is there a downside of that?
I can't think of one off the top of my head. If you're pulling money in and out of your house all the time, then the asset protection trust makes it very cumbersome.
Right.
But if that's not the case, why not protect your stuff? You can buy and sell the house. I know, Executive McMahon was on earlier. We had some folks had their house in a trust, asset protection trust, out on Caudnoy Road.
Yeah. There you go.
So, Mike Ron, let's sell our house for more money than we ever thought we were going to get for it. Right? Not to the county. It was a private purchaser. Took the money from the house, opened up a bank account in the name of the trust, deposited the sales proceeds, drove to Florida. By the time they got to Florida, the check had cleared. They went and got a check from the trust to the seller of their new house, went to the closing, and then their trust bought their new house, and they moved right in.
Right, and that's all behind the curtain and there. So
and they were totally in control the whole time.
So questions real quick. You got a workship next Tuesday.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all this stuff.
Talk about all this stuff. Bring your questions, bring your answers, bring your spouses or whatever it is.
Where's it at?
It is over at the Hampton, right there, right off the there's the Hampton Embassy Suites.
Hampton Inn on
Buckley Road, 370-9977. If you want to call and register, you can do that. Or you just go at safeharborwillsandtrust.com. It's interesting and informative, but that would be a good way to get your questions answered.
Yeah, and register early. That is a limited seating venue, about 35 people.
Yep. So. And I know normally you fill it.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, John.
Great. Thanks for having me.